Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Mile High Huddle SI. I am your host, Kim Becker, joined by Chad Jensen. Chad, this game on Monday night, the Denver Broncos just collapsed late, and they let the Titans slide in there with a 16-14 victory. But let's talk about the individual level here. Who do you think were some players that came out as winners, if there are any, from this loss?
It is hard to find the winners after such a disappointing loss, but I think you got to be excited about what you saw from Drew Locke. Second career loss as a starter, but he showed really well at times. Probably a couple of throws that he wishes he had back, but you got to love that mobility in the pocket and the way that he can make plays, especially on the run. That touchdown pass to Noah Fant thrown across his body, that's just a playmaker's play. And so you got to love that from Drew Locke. Garrett Bowles, when it comes to the offensive line, it's kind of best seen, not heard. And Broncos fans did not hear Garrett Bowles' name called during the game, which is a good thing considering his kind of recidivist history as a penalty, as a flag magnet, I guess is a good way to put it. So he ended up garnering a really good grade via Pro Football Focus. That's encouraging. It looks like he ended the momentum he ended with anyway last season. It's looking like that's going to carry forward into 2020. And then I gotta say Noah Fant, even though the Broncos went away from him for some inexplicable reason in the second half, in the first half, he caught all 5 targets that went his way, 81 yards plus that touchdown. Noah Fant was definitely one of the winners coming out of week 1.
I was pretty stoked about Fant because he's on my fantasy team. So I was sitting pretty in the first half. All right, then let's flip it over. What about some losers coming out of the game?
Man, I think Jerry Jeudy, he giveth and he taketh away. He made some solid plays. He caught a few passes, and he flashed some of that potential, that first-round potential that everyone was familiar with from his time at Alabama. But 2 really costly drops, very uncharacteristic drops by Jerry Jeudy, and they both came at very inopportune times. So some good, also some bad. Hopefully getting Courtland Sutton back will remedy that. He can kind of take some of that pressure off of his shoulders and get back to playing like himself. Melvin Gordon, similar situation where he giveth and he taketh. Played well as far as running the ball, caught a couple of passes. The problem, however, was that he fumbled the ball at, again, going back to inopportune timing. The Broncos had all the momentum in the first half, had gotten on the board first, gotten out to an early lead. Melvin Gordon fumbles, gives the Titans an opportunity. And of course, Ryan Tannehill, being a veteran quarterback, makes the Broncos pay, scores a touchdown on a short field, and then it just took on an entirely different complexion. Other than that, I got to say Elijah Wilkinson at right tackle. He just struggles with speed off the edge. His foot speed, he just doesn't have it. And guys like Harold Landry and Jadeveon Clowney, but especially Landry, was giving him fits. And in fact, even though Drew Locke was not sacked on the night, he did take one big hit, and the culprit there, of course, Elijah Wilkinson.
It's not the start that we were hoping for, but like you said, I still think that there's some promising things coming out of this game, and the team does have, it's got a good future ahead of it, and hopefully they'll do better in the weeks coming up here, huh? Well, thanks so much, Chad, for joining me. I'm Kim Becker here at Mile High Huddle SI.
Thanks, Kim.